first impressions of America from a Scottish girl living in Amsterdam who's never visited America before. Cars are absolutely massive. My Apple Pay does not work here, so I've had to use my credit card. Everybody is not only very chatty, but very complimentary as well. I'm starting to wonder if Americans have never seen...
You've seen those viral videos where Europeans tour an American suburban house and lose their minds. The walk-in closet, the 3-car garage, the master bathroom the size of an entire European flat. You probably thought they were exaggerating for the camera. They're not. American houses aren't just bigger. They represent a fundamentally different philosophy about what people deserve, what abundance looks like, and what freedom means. And when Europeans actually step inside one, they're not just seeing a house. They're seeing an ideology made physical. If this kind of cultural analysis interests you, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. Because we're about to dive deep into exactly how wrong most assumptions about America actually are. Here's what catches Europeans off guard. American houses assume you own a car, drive everywhere, accumulate possessions constantly, and deserve massive amounts of personal space.
What is this propeller?
What? No, it's just a fan.
A fan?
Yeah.
That's so dangerous. What if it falls on top of you?
What do you? It's not gonna fall.
How do you even turn this thing on?
Well, with those things, you see those.
That's so dangerous. What if your hands get stuck in there and then you die?
You're not gonna put your hands.
Why do you Americans not just?
The average new American home is 2,400 square feet. In France, it's 1,300. In Germany, 1,100. A German tourist visiting Ohio noted that the average 4-bedroom house seemed designed for 8 people, yet families of 4 lived alone in them. That's not accident, it's ideology. The average suburban homeowner isn't wealthy by American standards. They're teachers, nurses, tradespeople, yet they're living in houses that would require extreme wealth in London or Amsterdam. A Swedish family visiting Tennessee found houses costing half what comparable properties cost at home. This isn't just numbers, it's cultural messaging. America tells ordinary people they deserve their own space, their own yard, their own corner of earth.
This looks insane. Oh my goodness, that's really good. Wait, I need to get the apples. Wow. Cinnamon. It's apple. I don't know if I can taste nutmeg. That is so good. And the glaze, the icing on the top, everything goes together perfect. I wish we had these at home.
Europe tells them that density and community matter more. Inside these houses, the kitchen shock is immediate. The refrigerator alone looks like an appliance showroom. Ice maker, filtered water dispenser, size of a European wardrobe. The oven is often double-sized. The pantry is a separate room. The dishwasher is industrial scale. A Dutch visitor counted 9 separate electrical kitchen appliances, more than some European households have total. The laundry setup isn't tucked in a corner. It's a dedicated room with massive side-by-side machines. The hairdryer has more wattage than some European circuits handle.
No, I'm only joking. But I know some fucking mug is watching this and thinking that. We all fucking know it, right? But I think, correct me if I'm wrong, it's because, one, I came here legally. That's a big tick in the fucking box, that is. Right, I contribute, I pay my fucking taxes, right? I assimilate into the culture, you know what I mean? And 2 is because I show nothing but love for America. Don't get me wrong, it's got its little cons and that, like there's some things that I fucking...
A British visitor staying with a colleague in North Carolina was immediately adopted into the family's life. He was invited to stay longer than planned, stocked with fresh towels and toiletries, taken to local restaurants, introduced to neighbors. He later admitted online that the warmth and inclusion exceeded anything he'd experienced back home. This pattern repeats constantly in viral clips. A Scottish visitor found himself welcomed not as an outsider, but as someone worth impressing. In France and Germany, hospitality is genuine but bounded. American hospitality dissolves those lines. Then there's the backyard. Many American suburban homes sit on quarter-acre to full-acre lots, usable private outdoor space that exceeds European public parks. A Belgian family visiting Denver found their Airbnb's backyard larger than the park near their home. Families have genuine gardens, patios for entertaining, space for children to run unsupervised. The pool situation alone is revelatory. In Europe, swimming pools are luxury items or public facilities. In American suburbs, they're relatively common middle-class fixtures.
Things in American homes that are weird to British people. There are some features about American homes that seem completely normal to Americans that are absolutely mind-boggling to British people. So let's talk about some of the key differences between American and British homes. And my British friends, let me know if you agree with these. Let's get into it. Okay, first up, light switches and power outlets inside the bathroom. So in the UK, it's very common for the light switches for the bathroom to be on the wall outside the bathroom. And most bathrooms in the UK do not have a power outlet inside the bathroom at all, except for maybe just a small one for an electric razor. Having a power outlet inside the bathroom is extremely weird to British people because they worry about the close proximity of the power outlet.
A French teenager visiting Texas was bewildered that her host family's pool simply existed in the backyard, available whenever anyone wanted to swim. Not a special trip, not something you book, just a pool. On a random Tuesday, the garage connects to this. It's not just shelter for a car, it's climate-controlled additional space, often larger than some European rooms, organized with automatic doors and shelving systems. A Swedish engineer visiting Chicago studied it like an art historian. The entire suburban infrastructure assumes everyone owns a car and deserves climate-controlled storage for it. This connects to the sheer scale of American supermarkets, which genuinely needs to be experienced to be believed. A German visitor to a standard, Kroger found an entire aisle of cereal, not 3 options, but 30, 40. More cereal varieties than his German supermarket had bread varieties. Peanut butter comes in 20 sub-varieties. Yogurt flavors number in the dozens. An Italian tourist at a Whole Foods in Los Angeles saw Italian food products adapted, modified, and reinterpreted for American consumption. The abundance isn't just about quantity. It's a statement that ordinary people deserve choices. The average American household spends roughly 9% of income on food. German households spend closer to 12%. That gap is huge. Would you rather have 30 cereal options or 3% more disposable income? That's the underlying American calculation. The construction itself reveals different philosophies. Most American suburban houses use wood frames and drywall, designed to last 50 or 60 years, not centuries. They're built quickly and affordably. European houses are stone or concrete, built to last generations, treated as permanent. A Danish architect visiting Phoenix noted that the American approach feels almost temporary by design, optimistic that each generation gets to customize their own space, but wasteful from a perspective accustomed to buildings lasting centuries. American construction allows flexibility. Walls can be removed, rooms reconfigured, additions added relatively easily. You're not locked into a Victorian floor plan like London townhouse residents or Haussmann apartment dwellers.
Social media without seeing a European telling you how bad America is. The food is trash, the people are fake, the culture is shallow, no healthcare, no vacation days. And honestly, I used to just let that slide. And as a European myself, I was in their shoes. And let me tell you, the World Cup comes in the US and all of a sudden millions of Europeans who've been talking down on this country their entire lives show up.
The landscape scale becomes visceral when you're living in it. A house in suburban Atlanta might be 3 hours from mountains, but the sheer vastness, driving 6 hours and still being in the same state, becomes overwhelming when you're accustomed to European distances. A British couple renting a car in Texas drove to what they thought was a neighboring town. It took 45 minutes. The road was empty, wide, and straight in ways British roads simply aren't. The development sprawled across land that would accommodate a small city in Europe. This sprawl is criticized as wasteful, validly, but it reflects foundational abundance of space Europe doesn't have. In Europe, density is forced by lack of choice. In America, sprawl reflects actual preference for space over density. National parks reinforce this. The Grand Canyon, Yellowstone, the Smoky Mountains, Yosemite. These aren't day trip destinations. They're entire worlds. A Norwegian visiting Yellowstone was overwhelmed not just by visual scale, but by the fact this ecosystem was preserved and protected as a public good, accessible essentially for free. In many European countries, equivalent natural areas are tightly controlled, require permits, or are residents only. The American philosophy seems to be that natural wonders belong to everyone. A Swedish family at Lake Tahoe was struck by the sheer size, clarity, and accessibility. Infrastructure designed for mass access rather than exclusivity. Here's where it gets interesting. The safety reality versus perception. European news emphasizes American crime and gun violence. The narrative is chaotic danger. But a German tourist visiting a suburban neighborhood found something eerily orderly. Clean streets, manicured lawns, people greeting each other from porches, children playing without constant hovering.
Guys, you know something so cool about Americans is that they'll smile at you for no reason. Like you'll be walking like this and they'll come and say, "Hey, how's your day going?" Like they will smile. And you know at the beginning you're like, "Wait, who are you? Like do I know you? Did we go to school together?" And like after a while you start doing it too because it's just so contagious. It's just so good. It's small things, but it makes everyone happier, you know? Like look. Hey, how's it going?
Going well.
Good, thank you. Guys,
A police officer joked with him and asked where he was from, showing genuine curiosity rather than suspicion. The contrast between mediated image and lived experience created confusion. He'd prepared mentally for danger that didn't materialize. A French woman visiting Minneapolis described it as built according to safety specifications. Gentle road curves, low speed limits, sidewalks, well-maintained parks. Designed peacefulness that felt artificial until you realized it was just wealth and absence of crowding. This extends to law enforcement interactions in ways that would be unthinkable in Europe. An English visitor lost in traffic, got pulled over, and the officer asked if he needed directions, explained local roads, joked about his accent, and sent him on his way with a friendly wave. 5 minutes, entirely cordial. Back home, a police interaction would be formal, distant, rules-focused. A Dutch tourist found that Americans default to friendliness. Europeans default to privacy and formality. The economic reality underlying all this is crucial. The median home price in the United States is around $420,000. In European capitals, it's substantially higher. A German engineer visiting Austin noted he could buy an entire house there for what he pays in annual rent in Munich. An American earning $60,000 annually, solid middle-class income, could realistically purchase a home in most suburbs. That same person in Berlin, Frankfurt, or Amsterdam would be priced out of home ownership almost entirely. American housing policy essentially says home ownership should be accessible to ordinary people, not just the wealthy. Europe's approach, while providing strong tenant protections, has resulted in home ownership being significantly less common and requiring more wealth.
American oven.
Now back home, my oven stops like here. And I also love this drawer. So you could put in all your pots and pans. Well, what would fit? Maybe your pans. And also it's like a warming drawer, so it can keep food warm whilst you're cooking and serving the rest. I mean...
The Swedish social worker visiting California found herself impressed by middle-class material abundance, yet troubled by its fragility. Yes, ordinary people have large, well-equipped houses, but healthcare is expensive, college is expensive, the safety net is thinner. In Sweden, you have less square footage, but security. In America, you have more square footage, but less security. Different value calculations entirely. The patriotism embedded in these homes and communities strikes Europeans as jarring in intensity. Flags on houses are common in America, but rare in Europe, where they carry political weight. Small-town American pride, population signs, high school football stadiums, local business focus, reflects community identity and patriotic affiliation different in tenor from European civic pride. A Portuguese visitor to Ohio was struck by flags on multiple houses, the community center announcements, the way the town took genuine pride in its identity. This isn't negative, just visibly different. European communities exist within centuries of history and conflict. American communities often have unironic, almost innocent pride. The house becomes more than shelter. It's a statement of belonging to a community and a way of life.
What the hell is this? This is crazy!
This first time?
Yeah!
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah! This is insane. Hi! Good, can I walk? Yep, okay, thank you. What the hell is this place? What is this? Why is there stuff, animals? What is this? Up there! Oh my god! Just look at this place. Look at that. Look at all these hats.
Someone else done this.
There's so many.
Someone else
Yeah.
boy there.
Food culture shapes and is shaped by these spaces. A kitchen the size of a European apartment makes different cooking possible and normalizes different relationships with food. The massive refrigerator encourages stocking up, buying bulk, planning multiple meals. The outdoor grill creates entertaining culture less common in Europe. A French culinary student initially dismissed the excessive kitchen space, but after a week realized it changed behavior. The family cooked more, entertained more, involved children more, treated the kitchen as central social space. The kitchen island, which seemed ridiculous, became a focal point for interaction. American eating patterns, eating out frequently, drive-thrus, convenience foods, enabled by suburban design and car culture, reflect different assumptions about time and labor. In Europe, daily market trips for fresh ingredients are normalized. In America, weekly supermarket stocking is normalized. Portion sizes and snacking culture are different. An American dinner plate portion that's a main course inside Europe becomes expected. Snacking, enabled by pantries full of options, is constant. The sweetness level of everything, bread to condiments, reflects different marketing and historical availability.
Eyes of loo roll. It's just huge. Keeping washer dryers in the garage and the size of them. I mean, I could live in these washer dryers. The size of detergent. Huge. And how long clothes take to dry. Literally, I can dry all my towels and sheets perfectly. Nothing shrinks in like 45 minutes.
A Spanish visitor noted the frequency and size of eating, constant snacking availability, revealing patterns very different from home experience. It's not right or wrong. The space, refrigerator size, and food relationship form an ecosystem, distinctly American. But the most revealing moment comes when European visitors reconcile preconceptions with experience. They arrive prepared for a certain America. Chaotic, aggressive, individualistic, possibly dangerous, where you can't trust strangers and must be constantly defensive. What they often find, particularly in suburbs, resembles exaggerated versions of their own societies in some ways, total inversions in others. The abundance is real and startling. The space is real and sometimes unsettling. The friendliness is real and often surprising. The freedom, genuine sense that people are allowed to live their way, is palpable. A Norwegian, after a month in suburban America, admitted she had to revise her entire mental framework. She'd thought of America as loud and aggressive. She found loud and confident. Not the same thing. She'd thought suburbs were conformist and bland. She found conformist in certain ways, but genuinely diverse within that conformity. People had chosen their own colors, styles, ways of organizing space.
Things I did not have access to while living in Russia. Now I live in the United States and I'm so happy. But sometimes people don't believe me when I say this. Number one, there is no dryers in Russian houses. I honestly cannot even picture how I can survive without a clothing dryer. Russians just hang the clothes inside of their house. We're buying this thing and that's how you dry your clothes. And then you need to iron it. Why just not to get a dryer? I don't get it.
The closing realization isn't that America is better or worse. It's built on such different foundational assumptions that direct comparison is almost meaningless. It's not whether you'd rather live in an American suburban house or European apartment. It's what you value, what you're willing to trade, what life you want. An English couple, after renting in North Carolina, said they now understood American enthusiasm about homes. They weren't bragging when showing off space. They genuinely believed everyone deserved this. The abundance wasn't arrogance. It was ideology. The space wasn't wasteful. It was freedom given physical form. This doesn't mean European cities are inferior. They're answering different questions, optimizing for different values. They prioritize density and public space over private space, security, and sustainability over individual abundance. Both answers are valid. They're just different. The viral moments capturing European shock make sense now. They're not exaggerating. They're processing a genuinely different system of values given physical form. The scale is real. The affordability by European standards is real. The friendliness is real. The abundance is real. Europeans aren't seeing exaggerated America. They're seeing real America and realizing their media had actually understated the differences. So if you're curious about how societies function, how material conditions shape culture, how nations make radically different choices about basic needs, stay tuned for more. We explore these gaps constantly. Like this if it made you rethink something about America or Europe. Subscribe and turn on notifications for the next one. And in the comments, what shocked you when encountering a very different culture? What assumption got overturned? This is where conversation gets interesting. Finally, this video synthesizes public social media posts, viral travel content, tourism blogs, and interviews from real travelers shared online. It's designed to explore and entertain while examining real patterns in how people perceive different countries. It doesn't represent complete lived reality or official policy of any nation. Not everyone's experience matches this. There's diversity, exceptions, individual variation beyond any video's scope. We're identifying genuine patterns in how perception and reality diverge. The creators aren't responsible for decisions based on this content. Think critically, seek multiple perspectives, and remember, cultures are far more complex than any video can capture.